All right, guys, it's another day. I'm back on the 55 here. I want to show you the progress I've made on it. It's been a couple days. I had to work on a couple other projects, but I'm back on this one again today. I was waiting on these two pieces here for the rear quarters because the trunk lid channel was rusted out really bad on this side and pretty bad on this side too. So I just ordered two new of these. And I've already cut them out. Pull this one out of the way. You guys can see what they look like. So that's what I had to do. I had to cut that metal out of there and get that prepped to put this new piece in. And I did the same thing on this side. It wasn't too bad. The good thing is there's a seam right here, and you can actually see it if you look down this seam right here. So these two, the quarter panel and this inner fender panel, are joined together right here. So you just cut it on the seam, and then of course the top piece you got to kind of, I marked it with a marker and I cut just a little bit below it because I'm just going to overlap weld that. That'll be fine. I think I am in here. I might butt weld it, but I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But that's what I've done back here on that. And then if we come up here to the back, I was waiting for these two panels here because I had a really bad rust problem on the passenger side. So I ordered these two panels, and they're going to fill in the floor there. So this floor is, other than the transmission tunnel, when I'm done, and you know, I don't know how much of this I'm going to use, how much I'm not going to use, but I'm leaning toward using the whole thing because it's brand new metal, and if I put it in, then I'm done with it. But we'll see. We'll see how well it fits when I'm done. I've got a pretty big gap in this corner here where they cut that slot, and I had to fill that with weld. I had to figure something out. So I may trim it down some to get it to fit. I got to work on that today. And then this is the panel that I was waiting for, the dog leg. Now this dog leg here is for a 57 because they don't make them for 55s for some reason. But I've heard or read online where you can modify these to fit. It looks like it fits pretty well to me. I think the only difference that I can see in it is, and I don't even know if I can show this to you guys or not. I'm going to try to. So on this quarter panel right here, this slopes inward a little bit. And on this one, if you look at the same area right here, there's not nearly as much, I think that's the right area. Yeah, there's not nearly as much slope between out here and in here. So I'm probably going to have to figure out a way if maybe I can cut a slot in this and push this down and then re-weld it or something. But I want to try to make the same profile as what's on there. And the good thing is let me put it back on there real quick if we can see this. The good thing is when you look at it on the car, it's kind of hard to tell from this angle, but it's not going to take a whole lot to make it fit. And I don't even know, truthfully, how much it's going to matter if this is, you know, pushed in a little bit to match this profile, because I think you can probably just gradually, you know, transition from this profile to this profile, and towards the bottom it'd be flat, and I think that's going to be fine. So that's something I got to work on. You know, it's not simple, but that's what you do when you work on these old cars. But I really like this patch panel because it goes all the way up to almost to the latch and covers pretty much this whole area, which I'm glad, because I'm probably not going to cut outside the body because I don't want to mess up any more of the outside of the body than I have to, and I don't want to have to take this trim off. So I'm probably just going to cut right inside this line here, and hopefully I get a good surface I can weld to. And we'll see how that works. But anyhow, that's where I'm at with this. I'm going to work on this some more today, and I'm not doing anything to the driver's side right now because I want to get the passenger side, all the metal cut out, cleaned up. I want to get it treated with rust killer, and then I want to weld in the pieces for the rocker panel and the new floor braces before I even start putting the floor back in it. So that's, you know, quite a bit of work to do before I do all that. And I don't want to take both sides apart because I want some structural integrity still in the vehicle. So this is something you guys need to remember if you're doing this yourself. Do a little at a time. Don't do a lot because you don't want to hurt the structural integrity of the vehicle to the point to where it starts twisting and bending, and then you can't get it to go back together. So, you know, do a little at a time. Do one side at a time. You know, you can do the whole floor pan. I've seen guys raise the car up off the frame and slide the floor pan, a complete floor pan, through the firewall into the car and weld it in. But I'm not doing that here. The transmission tunnel is good enough shape that I'm not going to worry about it. I think I can treat it with rust killer and then undercoat it or spray it with something to protect it, and it'll be just fine. So I'm not worried about that. Actually, the passenger side floorboard over there, if you look at it, that's just surface rust. Out towards the end there, I could probably replace from those ribs right there outward, and I'd be fine. I could leave the rest of this. But to be honest, I got brand new metal to put in it. It's a little extra work. And, you know, I think it'll make it last a lot longer and look a lot better in the end. So I'm probably going to try to use as much of this new metal as I can, because I think it's going to work really well for this vehicle. So anyhow, that's where we're at. And I'm going to keep working on this today. Let me show you what I've got for rust preventative. Oh, one other thing I did, if I can find it in here. Oh, no, I don't have it, but I made a panel for that. And then over here, I've got a little bit of rust right along that seam. So I took some brand new metal and made just thin strips that would go from the bottom of the trunk panel up to the inner quarter panel and cut off all that. I'm going to cut off all that rust and weld new metal in there. So that'll be gone. But otherwise, I mean, this trunk is in really good shape. It's not bad at all. The frame, you know, it's got surface rust on it. I pulled this thing outside and I blew it off with a power washer, and you know, it just takes that rust and stuff right off there. And that's actually basically what you'd call ready to seal or ready to treat with rust killer. Really, all they want you to do is just get the loose scale off of it. So, you know, it's pretty good. I'm probably going to wire brush it a little bit, and at some point I'm going to be working on getting the frame cleaned up so I can prep it, because once I get the rocker panel fixed on the passenger side and the floor braces in, then I want to start spraying everything I can reach on the frame, cleaning it and treating it with rust killer so I can stop the rust from continuing on it. So that's going to be a process too, but I got to get that done. Here's the rust killer that I'm using. I found this on eBay. It's made by Skyco. It's prepares rusted surfaces for painting. You just basically brush it on. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray it. I'm gonna spray it with a spray bottle and see how it works. Because I got to get up in these fenders, all up in the top, up in here, and up in the front fenders the same way. So I'm just gonna put it in a spray bottle and just spray it on and see how it looks. But we'll see how that works. I bought that off of eBay. I think it was like $47 for the gallon. It's supposed to do 600 square feet, which is way more than this car is. So that should be more than enough to treat the surfaces on this car. So I think it's going to work good. Now, one thing you want to understand, it is corrosive, and you know, you should probably wear gloves and be a little safe when you're using it. But we'll see how it works when I get ready to use it. We'll see what happens. So anyhow, I don't think there's anything else I need to go over today with this car. It's just continuing on with it. So, you know, I'll keep making videos and start posting them, and you guys can see what I'm doing to this. Would really like to try to get this one done to the point where I can sell it. And yeah, by the way, guys, it is going to be for sale when I'm done with it. It's one of my cars I'm going to sell. So if you're interested in a 55, or, you know, anybody's interested in a Tri-5 car that's, you know, going to have a lot of work done to it, you know, it's not going to be perfect. I'm not going to probably do a whole lot with the patina on the outside of it. It looks pretty cool the way it is. You know, I'm going to try to fix this piece of trim here, try to get it to flatten out. I don't know how, it's not going to look perfect when I'm done, but I don't care. I mean, if somebody buys it and they want to send that piece off to a restorer, they can make it look brand new. But, you know, you'd have to send all the trim off to do that with, and I'm not going to do that. But, you know, for the most part, the car's in good shape, and you know, it's definitely worth saving. So that's my plan, is to do that. That's what I'm going to work on today, and we'll see how it goes. I'll let you guys get in on this when I'm done with all the cutting and cleaning and stuff, and we'll see how it looks. All right, thanks.